Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 718. I'm Salvatore Casio, along with my host, Charlie Crane. Charlie, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Sal?
I'm doing great. There's a lot of good news that happened today.
A lot of good news for Mets fans, especially.
Let's talk about this trade with Francisco Lindor. The Mets received Carlos Carrasco and Francisco Lindor for Jimenez, Rosario, Josh Wolf, and Isaiah Green. What do you think about that trade?
I think the Mets win. I don't think that like Jimenez and Rosario and I've never even heard of the two of the guys, so I don't know if they're upcoming prospects, but I think you get a starting pitcher, which I know a lot of Mets fans want. And Carrasco, I think he had an under 2 ERA at some point in his career, so I think that's pretty solid. And Lindor is an MVP quality player in my opinion. I think it's a winning move by the Mets.
I think we absolutely fleeced the Indians here.
Yeah.
I think we fleeced them. Lindor is a 4-time All-Star. Bats like 290 career. He's had multiple 30 home run seasons.
Yeah.
He's very, very fast, very good glove, and he just plays with swag, and I like that. Like,
No,
I
he
think
does.
it's a good move for the culture. Of the,
No, yeah, I agree. I agree. I think the way that he plays baseball, I think is just like I don't know how else to describe it. Yeah, he has swag.
He's got that Puerto Rican swag.
He does. So I think it's a really good pickup for the Mets, and I do want to see how if this affects their later free agency business, because it doesn't look like from what everything I've seen, it doesn't look like they're going to stop pursuing Springer in hand and definitely another reliever.
Yeah, because I did see that if we do go after Springer, we're still technically under the luxury tax.
Yeah,
which I think is very good and very optimistic because we do need a center fielder.
Absolutely, I think you need a center fielder for a couple of years now, and I think if you can stay under the tax after like a massive summer that you've had, because I would say that not even summer, not summer anymore, but I think that either the Padres and the Mets have probably had the best off season out of any teams in the MLB.
The one thing I would say about the Mets is that I feel like their free agency has been like more sort of like complete, just because the Padres are very like pitching focused, and I do think that Snell and Darvish are huge additions to the Padres. But I think with the Mets, we have James McCann now, we have Lindor, we have Carrasco. I think this is looking solid, and I think honestly with this lineup, I think we're ready to go into the season because we could still play Nimmo at center field. Mm-hmm. But I say if the Mets get George Springer, the Mets will be a force to be reckoned with in the National League, guaranteed.
Do you think that without Springer, do you think they win the division with that lineup?
I think we could easily win the division right now, honestly.
Think you're better than the Braves?
I think we could easily compete with the Braves, especially after this.
I don't know if I would go as far to say better than the Braves, but
yeah.
I definitely think that – I do think the Braves have a weakness in starting pitching.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But I definitely think that it definitely puts you closer, and I think everything you've done, even in the structure of the team, is going to put you closer to competing at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
But the Yankees are silent.
Yeah, I like. Are they like alive right now? Are they like
the
team?
It has no pulse. Like there is nothing happening.
Cashman's got to wake up.
Cashman. I think it's time to go.
I agree.
I think that he's incredibly conservative with assets, and like I wanted to ask him what we're building for. Like I want to see it's not good enough. I want to see us go with the like at least like I'm like I have that like Yankee arrogance in a way. Like I want to see us go and set the market. I want to see us go and improve our team and be aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not what I see. I think Garrett Cole was the right signing, and I'm obviously behind that. But like it didn't work. Garrett Cole did not put us over. It didn't put us over the edge. So I think that we need. I think that we need to do more. I think we need to do more to win, and I don't think we are.
Yeah, I know we did speak about letting go of Cashman with Blanche on the show last time with our guest host, and I mean I agree with you. I think he needs to be a little more aggressive with spending and targeting some of these free agents. Like I expected DJ LeMahieu to be signed already.
Oh God, I'm worried it won't happen because I know it's all about the years, and like I understand the fact that he wants 5 years. 5 years is probably too much, but the Nats are offering him 3, and I think if the Yankees were to offer him 3 years, I think he'd accept it. I think he would.
Yeah,
I think he wants to stay in New York. I just don't think he'll take a 2-year contract.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. It's something I'm worried about. It's because it's not even like we're hearing any movement. Like I don't know if you've seen anything that I haven't, but there's no there's nothing. There's nothing for any. Like we need pitching. We need contact hitting. Like there's nothing there, and it scares me.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Honestly, though, I'm stoked about Lindor.
No, yeah, you should be. I didn't mean to take that away from you.
No,
Okay,
absolutely not, absolutely not. So let's just go into the NBA. Knicks are looking pretty good.
5-3, better than the Nets for at 4-4, and
Yeah,
I think it's been an impressive 5-3.
I
think
definitely agree.
I think you have some meatheads who are getting a little ahead of themselves, like, oh my god, the Knicks, they're gonna make a deep playoff run. Like, no, they're not. They're not. But like, I don't think anyone was expecting that. I think like
this is good to see.
The team is fun to watch. It has heart. Like at least last night coming back against the Jazz, like I don't think that would have ever happened under like anybody, Hornacek, Fizdale. Like I've been super impressed. I think the players believe in Thibodeau, and I think they like playing for him.
I think Julius Randle really showed out yesterday, and so did Austin Rivers.
Austin Rivers, he scored what, like the Knicks' last 14 points?
He scored 23 points, and he had a very impressive scoring run. Randall dropped like 30, had like 16 rebounds, 7 assists.
Yeah, I know, because the offense goes through Randall. He needs to get better at turnovers, but he's really becoming a good playmaker, and he's able to do everything for that next team. And I think it's really impressive. And you have RJ Barrett, another guy who can do a lot of things on the basketball court. I think the role players like Alfred Payton, Mitchell Robinson, can't really score, but like defensively, I think he's played pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that. Nerlens Noel requested a trade this morning.
I did see that. And then didn't the Knicks sign Noah this morning?
Signed Taj Gibson.
Taj Gibson. Get them confused.
Yeah, Taj Gibson is going to return because he's from Brooklyn. He's played under Thibodeau in Minnesota and in Chicago. That doesn't surprise me at all. But apparently Noel and Thibodeau just aren't seen eye to eye. He's not starting. I think he thought he would, so I don't really care. I don't know if you look at it any differently. I'm not too worried about that. Move him on.
I think Emmanuel quickly surprised me though. He's been playing really well. I saw that game against the Hawks, and wow.
Oh, my only thing it confuses me a little is that like he plays a lot or he doesn't play.
Yeah,
like, I know he's missed like 2 or 3 games because of injury, but like he played the whole fourth quarter and played like 23 minutes against the Hawks. I don't think he played 6 against the Jazz. Like it wasn't even like, I don't think he scored. Like he didn't. It's not like he made a huge impact in those 6 minutes, but it didn't even feel like he was like put in the rotation to like have that same kind of like to have the same kind of output. So I was a little confused about that, but I'm not too worried.
Yeah, and I mean, like you were saying, Nets are 4-4. Like I'm honestly kind of surprised that like the Knicks have a better record than them.
Yeah,
8 games in.
I never would have guessed that. But like, look, I think the Nets are exactly what we thought, but I just don't like. I don't think they're that good.
Yeah,
I think Dinwiddie is a huge loss that I think, especially come playoff time, because I think the Nets will still make the playoffs easily. I'm not saying they won't, but I think that having that depth off the bench, I think they're gonna miss that. I really do.
Yeah, I agree. I saw something on Instagram the other day, and there was someone was like, I have a feeling that the Nets are gonna beat the Jazz by 30 points, 31 to be exact. And they end up losing by like 34, and it just like made me really laugh just because of like how
I think
wrong he wrote.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like just saw like Katie and Kyrie score a lot of points. Like, oh my god, the Nets are the best team in the league. They were definitely overhyped, and like I probably encouraged it too. I'm like, man, the Nets look pretty good, but I still think they have their issues with Steve Nash, who's never coached in the NBA before. Yeah. I don't know. I think the Nets are exactly what we thought they are. Like they're going to be exciting to watch, but they're not that good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think about the Natty? Bama versus Justin Fields?
Bama. It's going to be Bama.
I want to see a Justin Fields upset.
Oh, I hate Ohio State, but I do like Justin Fields. It's like a guy. I'd like to see him do well, but I hate Ohio State, so I want Bama.
I do think if Justin Fields does well, it's very, very good for his draft stock. And
I don't think anything will push him to 1.
No,
but I agree with you. Yeah,
I think Trevor Lawrence is the definitive one. I was honestly, the way that Justin Fields played in that game, he completely outplayed Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, absolutely
outplayed.
But I also think that like Trevor Lawrence wasn't bad.
No,
like the Clemson's defense was bad. Clemson's defense was bad, and Justin Fields was great, which is why they scored 50 points. Like, yeah. Like I don't think that Trevor Lawrence was bad on the day. My only criticism with Trevor Lawrence is just like in what I've observed with when the games get hard, he seems to rely on his legs more than his arm, and I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he's down and like things aren't going his way and receivers aren't open, like he seems to just put his head down and like to run and not stand in the pocket. And I don't know why that is, and I think it's probably very easily coachable. But like I would like I just the way that I look at the quarterback position, like I want you to be able to lean on your arm if you have to. And I think that like when the going gets tough, I haven't really seen him do that.
Yeah, I remember opening drive for Clemson in that game against Ohio State. He was at the goal line, and I think he ran the ball in, and he just went head first, like diving.
NFL
That's not a quarterback type of dive. You cannot be doing that.
No. Like when you're a quarterback in the NFL who runs, you have to take better care of your body.
Exactly.
You just have to.
It would have been exactly like what happened to Joe Burrow with Chase Young. He
Yeah.
would have gotten demolished. He went head first and dove, and Chase Young would have met him and cracked him.
Yeah, no, it just can't happen.
No,
And again, I'm sure that's going to be coached out of him. Like I'm not too worried about that. Yes, it's definitely fixable, but like yeah, I agree with you. It doesn't. That's not. He can't be taking chances like that and running over the middle and doing the bootlegs and just running open ball like in his arm. Like he's not a runner like that. He'll get cracked and he'll get hurt and he'll lose the ball and it won't end well.
Yeah, I could definitely agree. So how about that exciting way to end the NFL season last week as a Giants fan?
I don't feel bad for the Giants. I just want to put that out there in the beginning. The Giants won 6 games. I think it's important. 6 games. I don't think we can really sit here and be like, yeah, man, the Giants are robbed of playoffs. Like,
yeah,
you won 6 games.
Good.
Relax.
I'm glad we both
relax. However, there's no excuse not to play to win the game, in my opinion, ever. I think it's disrespectful to his players. I think it's disrespectful to his fans. I think he might have butchered another QB relationship.
Exactly.
And I think it undermines the competitive integrity of the NFL. I don't know if you saw what Joe Judge said. I really liked his comments, and he was like, he said exactly what I said. He's like, as long as I'm the coach of the New York Giants, we will never do that. And I just can't fathom. I can't fathom an NFL team not putting winning first, ever.
Yeah.
I was appalled. I stopped watching when they put Seinfeld in. I stopped watching.
I thought it was really unfortunate, to be quite honest with you. I think that's never a way that an NFL team should play a game. And
it looks ugly. Like Sunday Night Football, the game got flexed in there because it had playoff implications. And you pull the quarterback who you just need to get minutes in. Like you want to end the season well. Like Jalen Hurts getting some momentum.
Yeah, getting a chance to ruin a team's chance at the division.
Yeah, do you hate the Giants that much? Like it's like did you really enjoy watching the football team with their division champ hats on your field? Like, did that feel good? Did you like that?
Yeah,
I don't understand it.
I don't understand it either, and I feel like a lot of Giants fans are rightfully upset, but at the same time, like you said, I personally don't think if you're a 6-win team, like you should be like, oh yes, we have to be in the playoffs.
No, I don't feel bad for the Giants. I feel bad for the Eagles players.
Yeah,
I feel bad for Jalen Hurts because that game was stolen from him. I feel bad for Nate Sudfeld because he was put in a position. He's not going to get tons of hate.
Yeah,
when he wasn't right. He wasn't good enough. Like
it's not his fault.
It's not his fault. He got played, and he's gonna get hate, and he's gonna be known as that guy. He's not gonna get a chance.
Yeah, and I know it's ironic for a Jets fan to be talking about tanking when we ran an 8-man blitz.
That's
Hail Mary.
That's another thing. That's blatant tanking.
It is blatant tanking, but
it got your defensive coordinator fired. So
yeah.
I'm Doug Peterson is going to be in a job next year because they've already made some staff changes. They fired the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator's leaving, the QB coach leaving. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's changing, and Doug Peterson will be there, but. All I'll say is that I want to be there when he comes to MetLife next year. Praying there's fans. I want to be at that game because it is going to be ugly for him.
I definitely want to go to that game too.
Ugly.
And yeah, the Jets got smoked last week.
Yeah.
Well, really wasn't nice. I mean, I know I picked them to win. Pretty unfortunate.
Yeah. Well.
So I'm 0-6 in my last 2 weeks of picking.
Still better than me.
Yeah. So a little update on that. We've picked for 4 straight weeks. I'm 5-6. And Charlie's 4-8. So I mean,
I did finish strong. I should have been 3-0 this week.
I agree with you.
Should have been 3-0 if it was not like I don't know. I couldn't have predicted that. But Really, the surprise for me was the Bills. Like I thought that'd be a tight game, and and the Bills like second unit, like Matt Barkley blew them out.
Yeah.
Tua looked bad.
Yeah, Tua did look bad.
Unrelated to the Giants or the Jets. If you're the Dolphins at 3, do you take a QB?
I give Tua another year. At least he needs more time.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you to a point. I think that if I'm Brian Flores, odds are you're never going to be in the top 3 again with a Brian Flores team, because I think he's a really good coach and they have a really good roster around a QB. If you think that Zach Wilson or Trey Lance, or it doesn't matter. If you think that any of those guys is the guy, is a generational, he's going to change your franchise, you have to do it.
I agree with you, but I don't think any of maybe they see something that I don't, but I feel like they picked Tua at 5 for like a reason.
Yeah, no, I think they believe in Tua, because they could have taken Herbert, who's the big, strong, raw like thrower, and they didn't. They went with Tua,
an injured Tua.
Yeah, so like that's, you know what I mean. Like there was a QB option. I'm not saying that Justin Herbert plays any similar to Zach Wilson, but I think it's the same kind of like pro style QB mold, like raw arm talent, which Tua doesn't have, and they still chose Tua. So I think they believe in him, but like I would take Penei Sewell because I think he's a great offensive lineman. But like if you think that Trey Lance is the guy, like it's a conversation you have to have, because like are you ever going to be there again? Probably not.
Yeah, and then I know Deshaun Watson's out there right now. Apparently, he requested a trade.
Yeah, I think if I was the Texans, I would trade him because they have no future. They need to just get picks.
Would you, if the Giants got him by any chance, would you be okay with that?
Absolutely. I think if the Giants had Deshaun Watson, I think we're a playoff team.
You'd get rid of Daniel Jones in a second.
Hey, for a guy like Deshaun Watson, yeah,
I agree.
I think that Daniel Jones deserves another year. I don't think we should draft a QB like this year, but if a guy like Deshaun Watson becomes available, you make it happen.
Yeah.
You make it happen right away. Only thing is the offensive line. If we're going to bring in a QB of that standard, because I think we have a really good defense. If you're going to bring in a QB of that standard and you're going to re-sign a lot of the guys on the defense, and you need to invest, because then you're looking at a win now situation. You're looking at, we're ready to win now.
Yeah.
As we're like Daniel Jones, like we can kind of get by as building the team because he's not that good yet. And we're kind of hoping that he'll become good when the team is ready. But if you sell out now to get Deshaun Watson, that means you're buying into the current roster you have, and that offensive line is not good enough to win deep in the playoffs. So you need to spend a lot of money on that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So it's complicated, but I wonder if we can get Laramie Tunsil in that deal. Just take Tunsil and Watson.
That'd be a pretty good deal for the Giants. I think you guys would obviously have to give up a lot, though. I saw some mock trades.
No, I do believe in Andrew Thomas, but that's unrelated.
Yeah, I saw a mock trade where the Jets had to give up 2, the Seahawks pick, a second rounder, and a 5th rounder like next year. Like it's personally not worth it for me.
No, I would not.
Especially if we think that Fields is the guy.
I would not do that.
It's not. We're giving up too much. Like we have a perfect chance to rebuild our franchise and throw it away for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, because I think if you get Deshaun Watson now, like you put a roster that's like a 3-win roster at the moment. I think you have a 2 or 3-win roster right now, and you put in like a 10-win QB, and then you get stuck in a weird in between. Yeah. So then you're winning 6-7 games, but your team is bad. You're gonna have to pay Deshaun Watson. I think it's just bad.
Yeah.
And you sell your future. I think if you hold these picks, you can potentially have 6 new starters. Like if you draft well.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Like, and I just don't think you can blow that. Like.
So we're gonna do something different this week. Rather than picking the spreads, we're just gonna pick who we think is gonna win straight up. So who's your first pick to win this week?
I like the Bills. I like the Bills over the Colts. I think the Colts are a well-built football team, but I've been critical of Phillip Rivers, and I'm going to stay with that. I also just think that, I think if you watch the Bills, that offense, Josh Allen can,
sling the ball.
I think it's crazy. I think the accuracy jump that he's had is, phenomenal. He's gone from, bottom 10 to, top 8 in completion percentage, and with that arm strength and his athleticism, and they have weapons, and the defense isn't bad. I think the Bills are the only team in the AFC who can beat the Chiefs.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying they will, but I think they're the only team that can keep pace. Mm-hmm. Who's your first pick?
First pick is going to be the Seahawks over the Rams. I know the Seahawks have been in some questionable form lately, but I trust Russell Wilson over LinkedIn boy. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I honestly forget his name.
I
No
don't-
disrespect to him because he did beat the
No,
Cardinals.
and he couldn't get in the red zone, but he played a decent game at quarterback, but I don't remember his name. So, like, yeah, I trust Russell Wilson
Yeah,
there.
my point
I also think that the Seahawks defense has been slowly improving.
Yeah.
Especially since like the early season mark where they were awful. And Jamal Adams is kind of getting acclimated there. I think the Seahawks will be fine. My second pick, I have the Bucks over the football team.
Yeah.
The football team is just not that good.
That's my second pick too.
It's just not. They're just not that
There's no
good.
way they're beating Tom Brady.
No, there's not.
End of story.
And like the Bucks roster, offense and defense is so talented. Like I just can't.
Yeah, it's not.
I can't imagine. I can't even imagine it happening.
I can't imagine it happening either. But like, watch it happen.
Yeah. Like now, I feel like now that I've said this, like I've put it in the stars, but no, I just can't.
Who's your final pick?
I like the Steelers over the Browns. Browns are going to be missing receivers and head coach, and I think this is a lot of this is on Baker, because I think that like I was listening to Colin Cowherd, and I think he made a very good point. He was saying that game managers, when everything goes right, can win a playoff game. Case Keenum, when everything else goes right, you saw him make an NFC championship. The best quarterbacks can win when it does not go their way. And I'm not saying that if Baker loses his game, that he's a game manager. But I think he was almost insinuating that, and that I disagreed with. But I think it would be a really important step for him as a quarterback to win this game, because I think the Steelers are a more polished team. Big Ben's been there before. Mike Tomlin's been there before. I think the Steelers pull it out. Who's your third pick?
Taking the Saints against the Bears.
Talking about the spread, I think the Bears might cover. Saints -10. I think the Bears might cover the spread. I don't think they're going to win, but I think they can cover.
I think you're telling me with a lineup of Drew Brees, and I think Kamara's going to be able to return.
He's going to be back.
I cannot see the Bears beating the Saints in a one-off game. Like, there's just no way that I trust Mitchell Trubisky enough to go into the Superdome and beat Drew Brees.
No, I hear you, but I think that the Bears defense, I think, can always keep them in a game.
Yes.
And so I think they're going to keep the game close. I think they're going to keep it under 10, but I think the Saints are going to win.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, yeah.
Yeah. So
thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
We'll be back next week.
We'll post our playoff brackets too.
Playoff brackets Instagram story coming soon.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.